Hello. How's it going, everybody? Welcome back. We talked on Friday. I said I would be back Wednesday. But what I didn't say on Friday was that we had a bunch of exciting things happen that we announced Monday, which I'm sure a handful of you saw. All of you saw. And we actually have Mr. Andrew Marwede standing by. We're going to get to him in just a second. I'm just going to do a quick double check, as we always do, with the chat. Let me know if you can see me and hear me. I'm going to lock my door so that my kids don't come in. Out. Daddy's working. If you want Christmas presents, lock the door right now. All right, that worked. Okay, can you see me and hear me? We are streaming on Facebook and YouTube. Okay, looks like we're streaming. Everything's looking great. Trevor Harbold in the chat. What's up, Trevor? Miss you, man. I wish Kansas was closer to where you are. Please hold. All right. Sounds good. All right. Well, we got the door locked. Hashtag work from home. And let's bring in Mr. Andrew Marwede. Andrew, how's it going?
Not too bad. Thanks for having me on.
I'm probably going to need to do this. Oh, no. Am I still going to be able to? See if we can make this work.
Looks great.
What do you... All right, Andrew. Happy holidays. New to Team DGA. You were on Smashbox last night. That was exciting.
Yeah.
Let us know in the chat if you guys tuned in. But Andrew, how are you feeling? I asked you as we were setting up, like, all these media appointments. You probably feel like you just launched a big movie and now you're on the Tonight Show and Smashbox and DGA Live, the biggest deal of all of them.
Yeah, it's been a pretty busy week, but it's been good. You know, busy is always good. So.
Yeah, exciting. You and I got to hang out a couple weeks ago in beautiful Santa Cruz, filming, playing disc. And I think the first question here, I think what the world wants to know is, am I actually as good at disc golf as I seem in our challenge videos, or is that just editing?
So I've actually only seen you throw a few times when you were throwing this back to me. So by those very few throws, I would say yes.
Okay, perfect. I also got to watch you throw several times, and it was... I can't really even describe it. Now, what we're going to do, I've put together a super rough... I grabbed a bunch of the clips that didn't make the final announcement video, and I edited them all together, and there's no sound. So I'm going to play that in a second, and we can talk over that. But before we do, just tell us briefly what give people who don't know you yet a brief introduction in terms of your disc golf career, strengths and weaknesses of your game, mainly strengths. We don't need to talk about your putting, if you don't want to. I know that's kind of a trouble spot for you. But the floor is yours. Introduce DGA fans to yourself.
Alrighty. Well, I started playing in 2014, last year of high school, just super casually, as I'm sure every new beginner disc golfer does, just hanging out with friends and, throwing some plastic. And it wasn't until the next year where I really found out about disc golf tournaments, and it was kind of a new thing being in northern Michigan. There's not too much action up there, so started that, the next year, played and maybe a year and a half at most amateur events, and I won most of those, so I moved up to open pretty quick, and then played a lot of local open tournaments while I was finishing up college, and then the day after I graduated college in 2018, I was already making the schedule for the Pro Tour. So I've been doing that for the last 3 years. This will be my 4th year on tour, so it's been all disc golf ever since.
So what's it like to be good? Just how does that feel?
It definitely makes the game a little more fun.
Yeah. That's crazy because I have a every time I go play, it's like the most fun experience of my life. I have a blast, and so to imagine it being even more fun than that, maybe I should practice.
It helps, but it's not required.
Tell us how you became such a good putter because I believe if I'm getting this correct, you were first in Circle 1X last year and then second this previous season. So 2 years ago and last year, I guess I should have said.
Yeah, so when I started, obviously my forehand has always been, pretty sufficient. I kind of started out only throwing forehands. So the things I struggled with were backhand and putting. I was, one of the worst putters,
Really? Huh.
yeah, it was terrible. Well, I also didn't know what a foot fault was, so I'd always I'm a push putter with bad balance, so I would putt and then step over, and then I had no clue that you couldn't do that. So
That's
no, but
awesome.
putting was very frustrating for me because my home course is a rather open course. It was always super windy, and I would, just couldn't make my putts. So, but coming in with a basketball background, I love practicing. I shoot 200 free throws in a row, just to get
Wow.
better. So it kind of adapted well with putting practice. Just putting for 2+ hours on end to really just get that feel for it. And after that, it's just repetition and muscle memory. So kind of clicked on, and I think it just helps my love to practice putt. So kind of clicked on pretty early.
We're going to see in just a second when I cue up this montage. If anybody hasn't, watched tournament coverage of you, we're going to see a handful of your putts. My question for you is, how like everybody's got their own style of putting and there's kind of this general idea of like, yeah, there's multiple different styles and you got to find what works for you. When I watch you putt, the what comes to my mind is that looks like the way to putt. Like number one, everybody should be mimicking you on the putting green. Can you talk about your mechanics or how you got the form that you did, or was it purely just born out of repetition?
It was definitely repetition. I wouldn't say I studied how I putt, but I kind of knew what worked and what didn't. I think the key to being a good putter is being able to adapt to every type of putt. So I would classify myself as a good scramble putter, if that's even a thing. So not only relying on a single putt, but being able to be good at hyzer putts and hyzer putts, spin putts to really adapt, putting in the woods. But the way I look at my putt is, when there's no wind, I'm definitely a strong push putter. So me being, 6'5", lanky arms, when
Right.
my arm goes down, it's kind of like a pendulum where it just goes straight down and straight back up. So, if I'm inside the circle, unless there's wind, but if I'm inside the circle, I'm really not going to miss left or right. And if I do, it's my own fault because my arm is never really getting off that y axis up straight to the pole. So it really helps me, with aligning my putt to the basket. And after that, it's all height, and that is easily fixed with muscle memory and practice of knowing when the disc is going to drop.
Putters being one of the more difficult things, from what I've heard, to um, replace when you're switching brands. How has the process gone from whatever you were putting with before to now ending up where you're at? What was that process like? Did you immediately gravitate to one? Did you try out a bunch? Is it working? Tell us about where you're at today.
Yeah. So right now, actually, I got one right here.
Oh,
Putting with the Stone Steady BLs. There was a pretty quick fix when I first grabbed one. I was like, yeah, I'm gonna like this. I've always liked super firm, durable putters. I like it not being super grippy, so it has a nice release out of my hands. It's crucial to my push putt is being able to release when I want the disc to be released. And I tried a couple of the putters, different plastic, but I've always used a beadless putter, and obviously the Steady BL was perfect for that. I have noticed the Steady BL has a tremendous amount of glide, which is definitely a good thing. So it's really going to help for those deeper circle two putts where I don't have to, putt it super hard and have that long comebacker. But I've noticed for my circle one putts, it's such a straight, dead straight putter. And then once it gets kind of past that 30-35 foot range, that's kind of when the steady stability kicks in. So you're not going to have the worry of it like flipping over in a headwind or anything like that. The late stability on it really helps to have that hyzer finish towards the end.
Well, that's cool. Even just to listen to you talk about a putter in terms of its flight characteristics is pretty fascinating to me, because we hear a lot of people talk about hand feel or flight characteristics if they're driving with them, but you can immediately tell that, you're in the upper tier of putters because you're thinking about, 3 inches one way or another, probably at 30 feet makes a big difference.
Right, and that's kind of you have those aiming points in the basket. So, you have the top right, middle, and then bottom left if you're a right-handed putter. So that's kind of like the diagonal line of which you're trying to aim for in the basket. So when you're push putting, or I guess spin putting, but when the disc comes down at an angle, once it's hyzering in, it's either going to hit, top right, that diagonal, and that's kind of like where the spots you are like wanting to hit in a basket where it's going to catch most likely. So
I am not going to hit those spots. You do, and that's fine for you, I guess. But yeah, I have lots more targets. When I visualize a putt, I've got the ground, I've got the air above the basket, I've got the tree to the left of the basket. It's just kind of a big Swiss cheese full of targets. But you've honed it in a little bit more from that, huh?
Yeah, definitely aiming very precisely when I putt. So the margin of error is a little bit more slim.
So before we start this montage of footage, talk through real briefly approach putters, mids, fairways, and drivers. Where are you at? We're going to do this thing, and then I want to actually see some of the discs that you're throwing.
Yeah, so right now my putter lineup is pretty simple. I showed you the Stone Steadies BLs for putting. Anything outside of Circle 2, I'm really liking the. I guess I'll show it really quick.
Well,
the Granite Steady
let's
BL.
do that. Let's do that now. Let's do the in the bag now. Show us what you're actually throwing
Yeah,
here.
so this is more of my like longer Circle 3 jump putts and even straight approaches. It has a little bit more of a grippy feel, so it's not gonna like skip off the ground and usually land flat and slide very ever so slightly. So that's more of my approach putter. And then can't go wrong with the blowfly. Super excited
Fun.
for this season.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that is going to be a very touchy disc. I'm not really going to throw it into heavy headwinds, but those are going to be the type of shots where if it's 100 feet plus and I'm trying to make it, that's the disc I want to try to float in. And if it hits a tree, it's not going to bounce 10 feet off. It's going to hit and go directly down. So those are my more neutral putters. And then the disc that I'm loving, I want to say almost the most this year already, is the breaker. So, I got my base plastic D-line breaker, which is incredible for, it's when you throw it full speed, it's essentially dead straight with very little glide. So there's, when you're off your aim by a little bit, it's not going to go too far off because, it's very neutral and low glide. And then just a little bit more up in stability. And that I have the SP line breaker, just a little bit more premium plastic, a little bit more overstable, can handle a little bit more torque for forehand approaches.
We've got an intruder. Hang on. This is Ben. Andrew Marwede. Ben.
Nice to meet you.
Maybe.
Carry on.
And then a little more overstable than that, I have a Glow Z Zone from Discraft. That's going to be the headwind type disc, super hyzers for backhands and forehands. So got a pretty confident lineup in my putter slots right now. I don't see too much changing. Might try out a few different types of plastics, but I've been very confident in my putter slots so far. And I'm not much of a mid-range guy, but I have been loving the Shockwave, or not Shockwave, the Aftershock.
Now hang on. We've got Trevor Harbolt in the chat asking why there's no Harbolt breakers in there. I think
he hasn't sent me one yet.
Oh, okay. Come on. Yeah, there you go, Trevor.
It's actually on him, not me.
It's on him. That is a great disc, though. I hope we'll get you one for sure, because it definitely is a little more beefy than the normal Pro line.
I'll definitely try it out, Trevor.
Now, Craig, I'm just trying to pit you guys against each other from the beginning. We'll start a little fight, and then people will talk about it.
Yeah, so I'll definitely try out one of those. But the breaker is, one of the best approach putters that I've ever thrown. So I'm super excited for that for this season. But yeah, going on to mid range, I don't really throw too many mid ranges usually. It's just putters and fairway drivers. But I have been liking the aftershock. I have a couple different ones. Got a nice oldie
Ooh.
2018 Shasta, which
Mm-hmm.
is like my dead straight, and then a little more beat up aftershock is the Heiser flip putter. So got the old Great Lakes disc stamp on it before it was Great Lakes disc, so it's an old one.
That's
And then
awesome.
one of the ones I'm liking a lot for forehands actually is a Glow Quake. It's
Ooh.
probably one of the more overstable runs of the Quake, so it's super torque resistant for forehand. So I can really smash on this with a slight anhyzer and really, expect it to come back with a lot of fight towards the end. So really looking forward to slinging some forehands with the Quake.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm not really sure. This is a mid range, but I think it flies more like a fairway driver. Of how
Yeah.
surprisingly far these go. That the Squall has been one of the discs where I'm throwing it, acting like thinking it's going to be a mid range, and it just goes
Yeah.
just as far as any my fairway driver. So, but
Yeah.
very neutral flight. It's going to fly like a shockwave or an aftershock for me, but just a little bit further. So, those are going to be pretty fun to try out
I
more in the future.
remember I remember Ian Anderson in a video once saying if they do create a new category someday between mid-range and fairway driver, the Squall is the one in that slot right now. It's
Yeah,
such a
it's just
long
so
mid-range.
unique.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. It's very very fun to throw. Alrighty, what else we got here? We got some fairway drivers. So one of the ones I'm liking the most is the Pipeline. Got this in an older Pro Series run, so just a super straight, fairway driver. It's called Pipeline for a reason.
Yeah.
You know, pipe it down the middle. It's gonna just be your dead straight disc. So that's one I'm really liking so far. And kind of the big brother to the Pipeline, got the Bonsai. This is one of my more forehand friendly disc that I'm gonna be throwing in the fairway slot. The pro line for me is a super straight disc that has the finish that the Pipeline necessarily won't have. So the pro plastic isn't necessarily going to be overstable, but a stable to overstable type disc. So really liking
I,
the pro line.
I wanted to ask you about the bonsai because you mentioned that on Smashbox last night that you were flicking some bonsais. And what's the power to angle ratio like normally if you're trying to get that dead
Yeah,
straight with a little bit of fade flight?
right. Yeah. So like everyone's expecting me to be throwing a bunch of Hellfires and stuff, and which I will be, but the way that I throw forehands, I don't necessarily come over top and like chop at it on anhyzer. I'm very much so a hyzer flip forehand. So the bonsai is not necessarily good for anhyzer forehands because they don't have the time to come out at the end. But when you start them out on hyzer, it's a much more easy flight for the bonsai because it'll once I throw release on hyzer, it'll pop up the flat, and that's when it gets that straight flight and then finishes. So as long as you start it out on hyzer, I can throw it pretty much full speed and know it's not going to turn
Okay.
over.
That
But
was what I was wondering. Are
when I
you able
want to do
to
a flex forehand, that's when I throw the Hellfire, not the bonsai.
nice. So you're able to lay into a bonsai with the right angle and still
Yeah,
have it.
yeah. The pro line's a little. I'm not going to say understable. I'm going to say it's more straight, so it's not as overstable. But that is why I got the Glow Bonsai, which if any of you DJ
Ooh.
fans got out there and want to send me some, still looking for more. So it's
Cool
definitely a
stamp.
much more overstable run of the bonsai.
Hmm.
So this is going to be one of the main forehand discs for me is the Glow Bonsai. Really loving this overstability in the bonsai, but not nearly the like a Hellfire. So really loving the bonsai for forehands and backhands.
Pause.
And
Did you guys see that stamp? Did you see this? Bam! Look at that. There it is again. This is the ice squall that we're going to give away in a second. Or one, it's, maybe not the exact one, but it's an ice squall. And check this out. If you go to discgolf.com/marweed, all of the purchases of these discs until January 3rd get you entered to win an autographed Traverse LT backpack. What the heck? My lights just freaked out. All right, we can talk more about that later. Just a quick ad break.
It's a good one. And then, yeah, so kind of going, this is really dirty. So one more step up from the Go Bonsai. I do have one Raptor in the bag right now
Nice.
that I'm liking, just for that, overstable fairway slot. Just a tad bit more stable than the Bonsai, so that's one of, I would kind of throw it more flat and then a hyzer release, but still working in on that those slots. And one of my favorite molds already is actually the Tsunami. This one's the SP line. It is your longer fairway driver, nice and overstable, very flick friendly. So the Tsunami is definitely one that I'm already loving for this season. So this is your classic overstable long fairway driver. It's almost, I would say, like a control driver.
Mm-hmm.
And then speaking of control drivers, we got two. The Undertow, which I was talking about this last night. One of the most unique discs I've ever thrown, in my life. There's really nothing like it. So I don't really see many people forehanding these, but I am definitely going to be forehanding these.
You're doing that.
Yeah, some steep hyzers, release with a lot of hyzer, and that thing's going to pop up all the way to flat and hold very straight for, being a higher speed control driver. So, or backhand hyzer flips, but I would classify it more as like a utility disc, minimal wind.
Let me run this. You bounce your professional opinion off of this. This is what I've always thought of the Undertow. And again, I'm very high rated. So this is definitely a professional opinion. But the Undertow for me, I feel like has the same sort of first half flight that the Pipeline does, but it's the ending. It's the way it finishes, or maybe the fact that it finishes is what kind of sets it apart from the Pipeline in my mind. You get the Pipeline on an Anheuser, the Pipeline can just go for days if you want it to. It'll hold lines forever. The Undertow will do that for quite a while, but that last like 20% of the flight, I feel like you can count on it to like stop. Where the Pipeline's just going to keep going until like next Tuesday. The Undertow will actually stop, on the hole that you're on.
Yeah, because it definitely has that stability at the end, and it won't necessarily make a big S curve. But I think the disc knows it wants to be stable, so it'll stop itself from going all the way to the right. That's the best way I can put it.
That's such a great way to say it, because I feel like you're just imagining that disc to keep on going at the end, but it gets to the last few percentage of its flight, and it's like, wait, we got to stop here. Hang on, stop.
Yeah, for sure. Down. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then the other control driver is the Rogue, probably one of the most underrated discs out there. It's only an 11 speed, but I'm throwing it just as far as most of my distance drivers. So it's just, one of those discs that high speed control driver that, honestly flies like Undertow at times, where it can be so dead straight, but it's going to have more of that stability where a Rogue will actually make a big S curve for you to get that distance when it turns, but also have that stability to come back. But for me, I'm mostly using it for hyzer flips as well. So, because it has the, it's not too stable where it will pop up, but it shouldn't really flip over on you unless you're throwing it wrong. So it's one of those discs that it's going to be tailwind bombers and then hyzer flips in the woods. So that covers all the sections except for distance drivers, I think.
Is that on?
I don't know if my
Can
mic
you guys
is
hear
on.
Ben?
Yeah, I'll make this simple.
Test.
Ready?
Yep.
Hurricanes. No, but I got a bunch of Hurricanes. They go through them really quick. I got the old flex runs, more of a not understable, but a straighter, more pop toppy, more glide run. I got a lot of the Tour Series Shastas. I got I think one from each year. It just kind of depend on the stability. And then a super soapy PL line I actually got from. Yeah, I think
that's so
KG
sick.
picked this one out for me, but it's a little more overstable, more flick friendly. So I pretty much got a little bit of everything for the Hurricane slots, but it's definitely going to be my main driver for this season. Absolutely loving it for both backhands and forehands.
And any torrents in there?
I do. It's actually in the back of my car. It's not in the bag, but I am throwing it. I'm just trying to get used to the hurricanes right now, but
Yeah. Just
I'm
get
sure
used
there
to
will
the.
be a turn.
Yeah.
Did you hear that, Tyler? He's throwing rogues and not torrents.
Shut up, Ben.
There will be a torrent in the bag at some point. I'm just trying to work on, I got like 7 hurricanes, so just trying to
Hey,
figure out the stability.
There doesn't have to be a torrent in your bag. It's
when
fine.
we filmed your building the bag on the beach a couple weeks ago, there was a torrent in there. So I'm just gonna make sure and like really jazz that part of the video up, like lots of special effects, sound effects. Maybe replay it like 3 times. Wow, he's got like 7
and
torrents.
And we'll have the comeback video when it returns to the bag in the spring.
Yeah, there you go. Story arc. See, way to set that up.
And then the last one I got is just the Hypercane. This is your, your super overstable headwind disc where it's not going to turn over. It's just going to want a hyzer if you throw it backhand or forehand. So just a wind fighter. Got a huge forehand flare skip ace with this my first week of throwing it. So it's going to stay in the bag for a while. And that's the bag so far.
Minis.
I actually cleaned out my bag because it was dirty, so I don't think I have any in my bag right now.
It's for that's because there's no torrent. Oh, nice. Let's show that off.
You have one that looks like this?
Yeah, that one.
Our resident 3D printer expert, Mr. Ben, here in the background, made a few of these for Andrew with his new logo on it. That's actually really cool. It's got the little ledge, the difference between the A and the M.
Yeah.
Good job, Ben.
And this one.
I see a comment saying the SB Flex. Is this the Flex he's talking about?
SP Flex. What are we? Borderline SP that's got a P. Oh, yeah. Get you an SP Flex Hurricane. Yeah, he's already got one. I was actually going to ask, too, about the ice bonsai. Do you have a 2021 ice bonsai? Tour Series bonsai?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
Yeah, that one was in the bag for a while. As soon as I got the glow bonsai, I kind of bumped it out. Not to say it won't return in the bag in the future, but I'm liking the glow bonsai more as of right now.
Yeah, I remember the ice being just a touch more beefy than normal, but I actually have never had a glow bonsai.
Yeah, they're definitely more beefy than the ice bonsais. So.
Oh, cool. Okay. Yeah, that's sweet. Okay, I'm going to start up some footage. Make sure you can hear us. I'm going to let it all be about the footage. You won't be able to see us. Sorry. But can you still hear?
Great Lakes, we're going to give this one away today.
Where? Oh, there he is. Okay, we can hear you again. So this is a bunch of footage that didn't make the final video, but there's some shots in here that I was watching them this morning. I was like, why did this not make the final video? There's some like amazing.
Yeah, we took a lot of videos that week, so.
Yeah, it was so fun. There's so many good putts and drives. It was really fun to go back through it, honestly. This is a crazy tight tunnel shot, and you just laced this.
That's really interesting
It was a
to
super
hear how
sweet course, too. Obviously, the first time playing that happened to be a nice, beautiful 60-degree plus day after Michigan in the 30s. So
it's crazy.
I was just so happy to be out in the warm weather again.
Oh, check this out. This takes 10 minutes to watch in slow motion, but man, it's worth it. This was your Proline breaker, yeah? It looks like that white.
I think that was the D-line one.
Oh, okay.
Plastic.
And then...
Oh, so close.
So close.
So close.
Oh, my gosh.
Easy par.
Yeah.
Slow-mo of his shadow.
Maybe my top 5 favorite putts that I've ever seen or been a part of filming. We were the first ones out on the course, and there was dew all over the basket.
So I actually wondered if you took a little squirt bottle of water with you and dusted the chains in between putts to make sure you got the slow-mo.
No, we were just out early and we just lucked out. There's a shot out at the cliffside lookout.
Oops. There we go.
Some of these backhands, we're going to see, this is about a 5-minute clip we're 2 minutes into. There's some backhands here in a minute in super slow-mo. It just is so smooth out of your hand. And I didn't like have to, like look around to find ones, but just like not an ounce of wobble. Just so smooth, dude.
It's actually surprising to hear.
For real? No, like you'll see, like that looks smooth, but it's full speed. So when you watch it at like 240 frames per second, which is what some of these were shot in, you can tell. Like if it's smooth at 240 frames per second, it's smooth.
Still trying to figure out how to move my screen so I can't see the full screen of the video.
Oh no, okay. Well, here it is. Here it is. I think there's 2 of these. Just that's nuts.
Yeah, it did look pretty smooth actually.
Well, here's the one right after it. Same thing. Just all day.
I think those were the Flex Hurricanes that just came out super smooth.
Mm-hmm.
If I remember right.
Oh, we got a third one. Bonus.
This almost looks like it could be like Jurassic Park Island, and there's like a dinosaur in the background.
Seriously, Pinot Lake was beautiful.
It's so green right now.
I loved this shot. It didn't make the video because I only caught like a fraction of a second after your release. But just the backdrop, the setting with all those trees. And you just... Oh, speaking of your pig replacement, that was probably the breaker there for that upshot. We've got a sidearm next right after it. Yeah, that's actually really funny. The Jurassic Park Island. I am definitely... I'll see if DGA wants to let me take 2 or 3 days off next year and put in some dinosaurs in these shots. I'm like, no, guys, just trust me. It's totally going to be worth it. This one, you look closer in the video, but you were a solid 200 out.
10? Oh, yeah, got it.
Just make it look so easy.
Well, that's because it is, Tyler.
Putting is easy. Oh, this is another one. This is probably a solid 60 feet or so with maybe 7-8 feet of elevation.
Bang.
It definitely makes putting uphill a lot easier with the steady BLs. Like I mentioned, how much glide they have. You really don't have to like putt that hard, and it kind of stays on that line without dropping.
That's interesting that you've noticed that from the P2 to BL, because I've been putting judges for a very long time, like 4 years, and recently switched to like steadies, and I feel like just the beaded steady has a similar like extra glide from edge to circle that I can tell.
Yeah, I only putted with the regular steadies a few times, but just to try it out. But I've been putting with beadless putters for as long as I can remember, so it just kind of made sense to stick with it.
Yeah, DGA has glidey putters on both accounts.
We've got several more pieces of content coming up, even from what we did a couple weeks ago. Right now, we actually have some fun things going on. So I guess let's start with reminding people about this. Sorry to cover you up. We have several Marwede stamped discs at discgolf.com/Marwede, and any purchase that you make qualifies you to win one of the 2 bags that Andrew autographed while he was at DGA HQ. This is the black and gray one. We're going to give away to somebody who's buying one of his discs over the next couple weeks. Along with that, we have an ice squall. Again, potentially not the actual picture. This is just one of the Marwede ice squalls. And we're going to give that away right now. And you are going to pick the winner. So we put out a poll. Yes, you are. I didn't tell you about this. This is blind. We put out a poll and got a ton of responses. I went through and kind of picked some of the best ones. The question was, what are you most excited about with Andrew joining Team DGA? So I've got my top 5 picks. And thank you to everybody else who submitted. Honestly, most of them they're not most of them, but so many of the good ones were from our Slack chat. And I give those guys stuff all the time. It's just like, so thank you to the Slack guys. You did great. We're going to let somebody else have the ice squall. So let's start with Sam B. Oh, no. Oh, look at this. This is going to be in the way. What if I did 3 and moved it?
Do we want to do 2 giveaways? Or should I give away the mini with the disc?
Oh, no. Oh, man.
I'm really good at distracting.
That should work.
Tyler.
Okay. Sam B says, so the question again is, what are you most excited about with Andrew joining Team DGA? Sam says he will get the spotlight he deserves. Kirk says he's a beast and it's about time for him to bring the heat. Todd says, watching Andrew throw the hellfire. Ben from Slack, how did you sneak in there? Seeing him make big putts with DGA discs. And lastly, Cameron says, another person getting to throw steady BL. So I'm going to run through these one more time. Sam B. I'm excited that Andrew will get the spotlight he deserves. I'm excited that he's a beast. It's about time for him to bring the heat. I'm excited to watch Andrew throw the hellfire. Excited to see him make big putts with DGA discs. And speaking of putts, Cameron's excited for another person getting to throw steady BLs. Cameron makes it sound like we only allow like 7 people a year to throw steady BLs or something. Now you're on the
There's
list.
There's plenty of steady BLs to go around, I promise.
Yeah, seriously. We all can throw them. Okay. Do you have
to
someone?
pick one of the 5?
Do you need him again?
No, let's go with, I think it was number 2, Kirk. We'll give it to him.
Kirk. He's a beast, and it's about time for him to bring the heat. Congrats, Kirk. I have your information. If you are watching, send an email to tyler@discgolf.com, and we will get you an ice squall after we get back from the break. Ooh, hang on. KG. KG, are you in the chat? We should probably let these fine people know what the closure dates are, because it starts Friday, and then I think we're back on the 2nd, but we should probably make that official. Andrew, thank you for your time.
Thanks
I am
for having me.
stoked to watch you play this year, hopefully film you some, release the epic battle that you and I filmed between us at the DGA warehouse.
That should be a good one.
I've never seen anyone cuss that much in any of our challenge videos, but I don't want to spoil it. You guys just got to stay tuned. Make sure you sub to our channel.
Yeah, I'm sure everyone believes that. So
yeah, exactly. Everyone believes that I'm cussing and crying, probably. But
Yeah, I was gonna say I've seen a snippet of the footage. It was Tyler doing the cussing.
yeah, exactly. Thanks for joining us. Have a good rest of your off season, and we will be seeing more from you coming up soon in 2022.
awesome. Appreciate it, guys. Thanks for having me on. Good luck with the rest of the clip here.
All right. See ya. What a guy. Andrew Marwede. Oh, here we go. We're closed 12/24 through 1/2. Back in action on Monday, January 3rd. Hey, that's my anniversary. That's a good way for me to remember that, actually.
The day you go back to work.
Yeah, I should take it off. It's my anniversary. It's kind of a big day. 13 years. It's a long time. Good job, Molly.
I'm not quite to 1.
Lucky number 13 coming up. Everyone, thank you so much for joining us. This was a fun live stream. Bunch of people in the chat. Too many, in fact, to keep up with. Brian, when will the In the Bag video release? Yeah, it was sort of a building the bag vibe, sort of like here's what I'm thinking about what we have now. So kind of an expanded version of what he did earlier in the stream. but we got to film it at that amazing like cliffside lookout on the Pacific. It was frankly magical, if I can say. And I don't have a date for that. That will be the first piece of Andrew content of the things that I still have left that I want to do once we get back from the break. But there's going to be a bunch of beginning the year things. Hey, you're welcome, Great Lakes Disc. Thanks for everything you're doing. Yeah, January is going to be pretty busy for several reasons. But I hope January, probably definitely January, end of January or beginning of February. It'll be fun though. It was really cool. It was really cool, honestly, to see how Andrew, I feel like you should be up here now.
Closer.
So it's like I'm your Uber driver or something.
Yeah, you're I'm the intern. The intern sits in the back.
Back and just hand me stuff. It's cool to see how much he knew about our lineup after just like 3 weeks throwing all the discs. Pretty incredible, honestly.
It's almost like he's a professional disc golfer.
Yeah. 13 years ago, you were 18? That's not true. Could it be true? You're younger than me?
Cesar?
Wait. I guess I was 20. How about that? Oh, that's right. The Replay Course Growth Program winner announced early January. Yeah, I was trying to think. I'm like, I know we got a ton going on the first couple weeks in January. I couldn't remember exactly what.
Kurt, if you're watching, you're going to get this Mini 2 to go with that disc, assuming you're shipping the disc.
I'm not.
Oh, you're not?
Nope.
Do we have...
At this point, I think we're just hoping that Kurt is not watching.
Okay. Can we pull... There was one of those other 4 in there.
Up there?
Yeah, out of the 5.
Yeah. We'll make it right, folks. Don't worry. That's amazing.
Surprise.
Kurt, if you're watching, here's something that you're probably not going to get.
That'd be funny if Kurt was like, no, I don't want the disc. I want the Mini.
Yeah, I definitely want the Mini.
Any new discs?
New discs. Careful. You got to enunciate. You got to make sure that you pronounce some things.
I know KG dropped a list of things that were coming a few episodes ago. I think
most
we've
of those.
got
Yeah, I was
through
going to
most of that
say
list.
most of the ones on the list.
The only
have
thing
fulfilled.
I can think of is maybe stock Hypercanes sometime.
I was going to say we actually just restocked the signature line over the last month, and today or yesterday, Blowfly 2s arrived. So those will be going out soon.
What color are they?
We have a new color. It's the same pink as it was, but they're also in purple as well.
Okay, that's
I
cool.
haven't seen them. I don't know if it's like the Blowfly 1 purple from last year or if it's a new thing. Because I also feel like we've done a dark purple and a light purple. But yeah, if you haven't seen, the Blowfly 1s are in a lot of retailers right now. And they have a new real poppy blue color. And then we restocked Gum Putts and now Blowfly 2s. So the SIG line is definitely out there. And I think that's about it. I suppose we could... Kelly, can I tell them about the training basket restock? Or should I wait until after the break? Let me know.
We did not get...
We did just get Blowfly 2s today and also restocked several hundred DL Steady. Oh, yeah, I forgot about that. The D-Line Steadies for some stores. Yeah, there's going to be a lot of DGA stuff at your local retailers. Go grab some of these. Oh, you bought a blue Blowfly? Nice.
Me too, Zach.
Grab some of these and potentially win an autographed Traverse LT backpack that I have also touched. I mean, yeah, Andrew autographed it, but I, picked it up and moved it to a different table while we were there. So pretty. But it should be fine still, even in spite of that. All right. Are you playing disc golf over the break? Can you get off work?
I'm sure I will be. Yeah, today was probably my last day. I might go in tomorrow just for a hot minute. But yeah, so off now through, I guess the first day back is Monday the 3rd.
Same.
So
We should hang out.
be playing some disc, making more minis,
Making minis.
maybe 3D printing a disc. We'll see.
Shh. Don't tell them about our secret R&D efforts.
That's my own disc design. Thank you very much.
Shh. No, it's not anymore.
Oh, I shouldn't have shared it with like everyone in Slack.
It's the intellectual property of ours now, since it was on the DGA live stream. Anything you say here is now ours.
I mean, talking about it doesn't mean that it's real.
Ed Radikovitz, by the way, you guys thought the Andrew Marwede announcement was a big deal on Monday. Did you see on Tuesday, that Ed Radikovitz is on Team DGA? Welcome to the team, Ed. Welcome to the team. And just when the world had settled down from the news about Andrew Marwede, they just had to get right back up on their feet and cheer again.
Ed's been crushing it on DGA all day.
Ed is like absolutely taking our Facebook group to the moon by himself. And as the marketing manager, that is all right with me, and I applaud his efforts. Mach likes and shifts are stocked plentiful. Maybe a few more days. Yeah, Kelly sent me a picture. I mean, just boxes. It's like the Indiana Jones, the warehouse scene, where it's just like stretches on for miles of all these training baskets that we have. But at the rate that people buy them, they probably won't last long. So yeah, definitely pick one of those up. If you don't have a Mach Shift or a Mach Light, you need one.
Or both.
We will probably be shipping those after we get back on Molly and I's anniversary. That's kind of when DGA traditionally likes to start work again. Kind of a celebration of me and Molly.
You're welcome, Andrew. Glad you like them.
Wait, is that him?
Who is that?
Yeah, I was going to say, it's like...
Oh, no, that's
Maroon.
Oh, that's Sean from Canada.
Because it looks like Marwede.
It does look like Marwede on there.
More content than... No, that's... Wait, are you saying Ed puts out more content than me, or he's more content than me? Either way, it's correct. I'm just kind of wondering which direction we're headed with that.
Probably content.
He's more content than me. Yeah.
For real, though, guys, I've had my Mach Shift for 2-3 weeks now, and I love putting on it, even in the small configuration. It catches so good. Like, if you hit it middle, like Andrew was talking about earlier, there's up high right, gonna go out. Bottom left, probably gonna go out, but maybe gonna stick on the Mach Shift. But you hit that sucker middle, and it's going to catch.
So, like this right here. So, when the outer chains are moved in, and it's in the advanced configuration. One thing that I feel, and I don't know if we've talked about this. We may have messaged a little bit about it, but I noticed that as well. Once I started using mine to do the Shift Your Game challenge, I was using it a lot more than I ever had. And so you start to notice little things about it. And one of them is exactly what Ben just said. The fact that it catches so well in the advanced configuration is frankly pretty amazing. There's several factors from chain diameter, chain thickness to the arrangement, but I think one of the biggest factors is the 10-inch bottom ring. Having that wider ring, where I've seen a couple other precision style baskets that kind of taper in to a really small ring at the bottom, but having that chain go straight down actually still allows it to have a little bit of cushion from the middle pole. So many putts on those type of baskets that just doink, just straight back out. And a lot of people say, well, it's like, it's just built as a target, like if I don't catch on that, it's okay, because I know I probably will on a course. It's still more satisfying to have it catch.
Because you're adjusting your speed that you putt with in order to ensure that it catches. So it helps me be confident that I don't have to change my putting stroke or speed for the shift to catch.
Yep.
It's just, you don't have to have it, but it is really nice that it does it. It's very satisfying to putt on.
Yeah, the left and right chain configurations was a new thing that we developed for the Shift Your Game Clinic. I don't know if you guys have had those, if you've ever messed with that, but I think most people probably, if you're a push putter, you might not think of it. But since I'm a spin putter, I'm always trying to dial in my left and right misses. So to move just the right chains in and leave the left side strong, the left side chains out, or move those in and leave the strong side chains in, it takes your focus off the middle pole and just shifts it, right 2 inches off the pole or something like that.
Yeah, you could aim for that top right that Andrew was talking about, depending on your putt distance. I kind of putt the same way Andrew was describing, where sometimes I'm aiming top right, maybe if I'm further back, because I want to give it time, where if I miss a little, it'll catch left.
Right.
And then closer in, bottom middle.
But it is a great way to dial in your focus points and your putt for the serious. I mean, it's a great, training basket just in its standard configuration. Put it up against any other basket like it on the market, but then just immediately there's 100 other things you can do with it that you can't do with other baskets, which is where, and while we're talking about it, people sleep on the Shift's portability sometimes because we have the Mach Lite, which is just like best in class. I mean, the whole thing just in like 30 seconds, packs into the size of a camping bag chair and you put it in your trunk, which is amazing. But I have had the Mach Shift in my trunk for quite a while at different points of having it. And it's 2 things that you unscrew and the whole thing fits in the size of the tray. So that's like incredibly portable for the trunk of your car if you want to take it someplace.
And in all honesty, like the Mach Shift, I can pick up and carry around with one arm just inside the basement. It's not heavy.
Right.
And I've been putting on it more than I've been putting on my Mach 2 lately. They sit right next to each other, and I love putting at the Mach Shift.
Yep. Well, thanks for watching, everybody. Hang on.
Thank you for attending the Church of the Mach Shift.
There you go. I got you. I forgot your title wasn't up there yet.
Oh, Team GGA Hopeful.
Yeah, I kind of moved you. I didn't ask anyone for permission. I just kind of bumped you up myself.
I'm not stuck in the wiring closet today.
I didn't ask you or our team manager. I'm just kind of like I'm creating my own storyline. So don't worry. This is all.
We're implanting it in his mind, so he thinks it was his idea.
Wasn't he a Team DGA hopeful?
Yeah, definitely. Has been.
Congratulations, Kurt, on winning that. Don't forget, discgolf.com/Marwede. Win yourself a Traverse bag, in addition to just like getting some super slick, awesome discs. Happy holidays, everyone. I will see you after the break. I'm not sure what the first live stream will be, but whatever the Friday is after the 3rd, we'll be back live and we'll be doing, actually that will probably be the giveaway one. We have so many giveaways to do. 10 premium discs. We're giving away 3 Traverse LT backpacks, and then we're giving away a custom portable Mach X when we come back from the break, because every purchase that you guys have made on our holiday sales is made you eligible to win all those prizes. So we're going to have a big party. We're going to give away all those things. We're going to give away the bag. We're going to announce the winner of the Replay Course Growth Program, 18 Mach 7s. Woo! It's going to be a fun way to start the year. But for starters, let's all take a week off work and sleep.
And play disc golf.
Throw DGA discs.
In DGA baskets.
That's even better, actually.
On your first throw.
All right. Thanks, everybody. Bye. may play this